We got one question that a couple people said is a good question. How do you personally break down how many units to lay down per game?
Oh, how many units to lay down per game? Yeah. Well, first of all, you have to understand the Kelly concept, right? Which is explained, I believe, all over SBR. If you go to SBR Forum, especially the Handicappers Think Tank, you can just do a search for the Kelly Criterion. You can learn about that. And in the tools section, there's a Kelly calculator, which is very, very useful. You can learn, and even just by using the Kelly calculator, you can probably just learn what Kelly is. What Kelly is it's a mathematical equation that tells you exactly how much to bet based on your edge and based on your bankroll. So I take the Kelly calculator, I look at a sport in general, and I make my assumption on what my overall assumed edge is going to be on that sport overall on the season. And that's my base amount that I'm going to bet on every game. Now, if I like a game more, then I'll bet a little bit more than what Kelly would indicate I should bet. If I like it, but I like it less, I'll bet a little bit less than what Kelly should indicate that it is. So, it usually works out to being, maybe about 1 or 2% of bankroll on a bet. If I like something a little bit more, then I'll bet it a little bit more. If I like something a little bit less, then I'll bet it a little bit less. But yeah, and it's interesting when you go to the Kelly calculator and the arbitrage calculator, you can play around with the numbers and really, and it'll tell you, you can figure out, if you have a certain edge on a game, what percentage of your bankroll you should be betting. Or you can do it the opposite, which is if you know you're betting a certain percentage of your bankroll on a bet, what winning percentage are you implying? Like, for example, let's say you're betting, let's say you have a 10% edge, right? If you're assuming you have a 10% edge on a bet, that would mean at minus 110, you would have to be hitting 57.5% of your plays, which is a lot. You know what I mean? If you drop down to 55%, that implies that your edge is a lot lower. So basically, you should assume what your edge is on a play and go to the Kelly calculator and figure out what the winning percentage is implied by that. And if that feels about right to you, then you're betting, then you're betting approximately what you should be betting. If it feels a little high to you, then you should reduce your bet size. If it doesn't feel high enough, which is probably not going to be the case because most people overestimate their edges. But if it doesn't feel high enough, then increase your bet size. So that's basically what I do. I estimate my edge in a sport over a season or even like segments of seasons, because in some sports I tend to do better in the I expect myself to do better later in the season, like baseball, than earlier in the season. So yeah, I estimate my edge in a sport over a span of time, and that becomes my basic bet percentage for each bet that I make. And if there's a bet during that span of time that I like a little bit more, I'll bet it a little bit more than my base bet. If I like it, but like it a little bit less, I'll bet a little bit less than my base bet. And that's how you do it. That's how you bet size in sports betting, Breadman. How's that for a decent, comprehensive answer? That answers the question comprehensively, but not using lingo or talking over anyone's head.
Hey man, it was an excellent answer.
Right. Excellent. Okay. All right.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.